Well, hello. It has been 3 years. Can you believe it? 3 whole years. So I'm going to go and start at the same place that I started at 3 years ago, and we're going to go from there. Hey guys, I'm officially Fran, and let's go do a 3-year Farmstead walkthrough, tour, update, or whatever you want to call it. Let's start right here at the driveway. This was 3 years ago, and this is what it looked like when we pulled into the driveway. This is facing the house, and then this is a view from the porch looking out onto the street from 3 years ago. This is what pulling into the driveway looks like now. Complete new landscaping all up front. All of our flower beds over there. We're still working on that. We're always adding things. Our egg storage right here. Over here we have all new bushes. There are fruit trees right there, and even down the side of the property. Now this I didn't show you the first time because, I don't know, there was nothing to show. But since we have been over here, oops, I could have showed you all of that. All of the beautiful flowers and stuff that we have added across the front yard everywhere. I can't believe it's been 3 years. Now the first video that I made was actually in August of 22, but we closed and moved in June of 22. So technically June is when the 3-year mark hits and not August. Now let's go through it again. We're gonna pick this up, and I'm gonna, hopefully I'll be able to edit this correctly so that I can put the side by sides. Even the side of the garage, we have stuff growing. We put fencing up over the driveway. Still haven't made it to fencing off the gate area. So this is our backyard. Over here behind the gate, we use this as storage. That's why the privacy fence is good. But I'll give you a whirl around just like I did in the first video, and see if you can notice the things that are different. This is from 3 years ago in 2022. This is the backyard. The barn pretty much is still the same. We still haven't finished that barn, except we have filled it up with junk. Otherwise, this is what the yard looked like. We started off with 8 chickens that we got from a neighbor. Then we also purchased some chickens from the local feed store, and then my husband had also ordered some chickens from online and had them delivered. So we had those little chickens over there. So I think when we started off, we had the 8 and we had the 12. I think we had about 20, 24, something like that. Now over here, there is a tree with a bunch of old logs stacked up. There's a white shed. There's the green metal shed next to it. And then there was the brown shed or house with the little gray on the side of it. And we instantly started to do work on that brown one to turn that into a chicken coop. We found out pretty quick that those little coops just was not going to be enough. This is the same area now. The barn still isn't done, but it's just full of stuff. The yard is much more cleaned up. We got some organization and did a lot to get this grass to look decent, as well as just clean the area up. And then over here where that tree was and those logs, all of that has been removed, and all of the old sheds have been painted. Other than us just cleaning up around here, this area here, these buildings, that one, and that one were already here, and we transformed them into our animal area. So that right there is storage, which we got to move. That is now the goats house, and these two are the chicken houses, and those are our goats, which we didn't have those 3 years ago. We got them last summer, and they've all made it. That is Darla. Somebody is Alfalfa. Somebody is, that right there is what is it, Darla and Alfalfa, Fred and Wilma, and then that's Cow. So I know the girls. I know that that's Darla, and I know that that's Wilma. I know that that's Cow. I don't know which one of them is Fred and which one is Alfalfa, but there they all go. They go to mean roosters. Yes, we started off with like 8 chickens. Uh-oh. You shouldn't have ran your butt over here. You should have stayed over there on your side, because now they after you. Yep. Girl, you better get gone. That's what you get for being fast. She was over here and jumped over here. That's the reason why you was over there and these two over here. As you can see, we fenced all of that off, and now moving on to the side of the little gray building that was already there and moving around to the back of it. And again, it was just a building. We used that now as a coop, and this whole area back here is now fenced off. We just moved the trash and kind of went from there, and this is what it looks like now. You gonna learn today, huh? Well, we started off with 8 chickens, and as you can see, we have quite a bit more than that now. They are everywhere. We got the grown ones. We got the ones in the cages that are either in the hospital or waiting to be let go to be joined with the rest of them. Yes, there are chickens everywhere. I don't want you to see them through the gate. Let me see if they'll all come over here to me if I walk in. You can get a good look at everybody. We got that rooster over there. That's Mister. Mister's still around. But we have to keep Mister separate. And this one right here, he don't have a name. He just the man. Isn't he beautiful? Look at him. But then we have these baby roosters right here. This one right here, he has a matching partner. And he's pretty too. Got pretty colors on him. His matching partner is over here in this small cage. Because the two of them had to be separated. Let me see if I can get a good look at him. Him over there. Look at the green and blue on their backs. But, okay. Yeah, we just got chickens, y'all. Chickens everywhere. Between the chickens and the goats, they over here drinking and having them a good little old time. I don't know what she doing. Every one of the projects that I am mentioning in this video, I will link them in the description or they will pop up. But do me a favor and go back and check them out. From the chicken coop to the high tunnel to the farmstead, there's a video series for it. So this area right here was totally transformed. As you can see, it is now our animal area. We redid all those buildings and basically fenced that in. We fenced this in and we're in the process of fencing that last part in. So they'll have this whole area to go back and forth in between. So while we had some successes, we had some failures. This is 3 years ago, my nice, clean, organized store area where we put everything that we found on the property so that we could reuse it. And this is what that area looks like now. The barn, that very nice and organized system we had, yeah, that fell apart. So now it's just stuff everywhere. But sooner or later, we got to get this stuff moved into its proper homes. Moving on again. 3 years ago, this was the look at the backyard. That eyesore of a tree that was full of poison ivy and everything else was just sitting there. And we just had open grass that just needed to be cut and other areas still to be cleaned out. This is what that area looks like now. Barn is the barn. But the rest of the yard did change a whole lot. We have had a 3-year and running burn pile. Let me clean my lens. It is foggy out here because it's raining. But we have had a 3-year running burn pile. That's what's left of that tree, and I am still working on that tree. Now here's 3 years ago, past the tree, just looking to the back, to the area where the fence is. And again, it's just open space, just needed to be cleaned up. And this is what that area looks like now. Back here, there have been a lot of changes, not to mention us cleaning up. Some of the wildflowers are growing in on top of the mound. These are our personal areas. At some point, I think that'll be my little office. I just don't know what it's gonna be. We were preparing a fire pit area here. So we had this area covered with a tarp, making me an instant circle. No need to dig out anything, just cover it up till it dies. The newest addition is our high tunnel that we've started to plan in. We are very late, but we got a high tunnel so we can be late. It is what it is. We'll come back to the high tunnel once some things start growing. Let's go back here. behind the container. So remember, this part of the property is 3 acres from the front to this gate. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less than the 3 acres. And the 7 acres are back in the forest. There's our water storage that I have to cover up still to keep the sunlight off of it. But we just got that water set up like last week. This area here is also a big update. This is the Farmstead. Now let's go back 3 years and walk through that same gate, because I want you to see the transformation back there. This is that same area 3 years ago. Look at it. That was a lot of work, y'all. It took us probably, maybe 2 seasons, because we did cut this down, but we just cut it down so that we could come back here. And then we finally, over the winter, were able to get in here and really, really work on this area. So this is what it looks like now. Difference a rake and a shovel and a weed whacker and a lawnmower can do, because that is all that we used. Now this is 3 years ago, walking across the bridgeway into the forest. And as you can see, it's overgrown. The path is really thin and it looks like a jungle through here. But it was also really, really pretty. It was just pretty and scary. But my husband and I got back there and we did just cut some things back so that we could go back and forth. And this is what it looks like now when you walk across that bridge. It's opened up. We have a little placard sign here where I'm going to put all my members' names on. And then when you turn the corner, we pushed back and really widened that up by simply just cleaning. Fall, winter, we're back here cleaning up and moving stuff around. It's just easier to do it then. We can keep a path through the summer, clearing stuff. But if we really want to do some work where we're clearing and stuff like that, wait until fall when stuff starts to die out. It's just so much easier. But now that we have our own goats, we don't have to pay for goats. It's just a matter of getting our goats back here. And our goats are currently in training up in their area. And they have been cleaning I'll show you the spot once we get through this gate. These skeeters, they putting the hurting down. There's a fence, a gate right here. You can see the orange. But then beyond that is the neighbor's side, and there's also a fence. So our goats right now can get out into this area. And what they've been doing is coming down, and they've been eating. So they're learning. Up in the front, it's much more clear. They've just started to venture. I have a little separator right there by the trailer so that they're stopped up there, just so I can keep some order with them. Look at all of this staghorn. Look at all that sumac, y'all. Those gonna be some nice, big, beautiful ones when the season comes. Right here, I have a little piece of fence that's really not doing much, but it's just here to stop the goats when they make it to this point. But what they've been doing is clearing. And so between here and all the way over to that tree is still our property. So we've got the goats in there, letting them just learn and work it, getting them some green in their diet. And that's pretty much it. That big pile of wood that used to be up at the front, it's now here. And now we have a wood splitter, a log splitter. We can get that wood processed and put away. But we've been working to get a lot of that stuff over here in this corner. The thing about the barn is that it's expensive to finish, and at some point we will finish it. But when we do, we don't want it to look like that. We're not about to put $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 into a barn to have it be storage of junk. So once we get our junk under control and figure out how exactly we're going to use that barn so that it can generate income or be a help to us, then we'll get to working on it. But as you can see, in 3 years, we've done a lot. So many more projects still to go around here till, these mosquitoes. There are so many more projects to go around here. Let me take you up to the front to where that front garden was. Now that we have our high tunnel, now that we have our high tunnel, we won't be using or doing this front garden up here. We may have a box with a little something in it, but that's the purpose of the high tunnel back there. Now, this was the start of the garden 3 years ago. The previous owners had already built the front boxes, but they left all of the pieces there, and I continued and built the rest of those boxes. Those were some heavy duty pallets. They are still all around here today. We use them, and as you can see, this was last year's garden area where I had built the boxes and I had burned them up to put the Shoshugiban burn technique on them and got ready to set them up to be the garden area. I only ever finished 2 of the garden boxes and only actually grew in 1. This area has now been decommissioned. The old garden area now gets to get a new life. And so far, we are going to turn this into our entertaining area. This whole section here. So we started to bring some of our stuff over here. We'll fence off the front and finish fencing the side, and this will just be for us. Again, that makes a whole new project. Whew, let me get on my porch and sit down and talk to y'all. What have we done in these 3 years? We have built, we have torn up, we have burned, we have planted, you name it. We just have been all over the place trying to get each piece to kind of just fall into line. The main thing was getting everything cleaned up. It was just the ongoing clean up and build stuff. It is so muggy out here, y'all. It is starting to rain again. Today is supposed to be a thunderstorm, which it has, which is why I came out to film, because I thought it would be cooler, but it's not. Well, my battery died, so I put this footage in of 3 years ago, the forest area as a place marker, because the next update in a year or maybe 2, this will be totally transformed, and I wanted to have a marker to be able to see and be able to put the 2 pieces together just like I did with the rest of it. So enjoy this nice little forest walk. Thanks so much for dropping in and checking out our progress. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and bye-bye for now.